Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories. Add your tales. Let's get into this thing.
Well, oh man, my settings are way off. Sorry about that. That might have been very loud. I have it set up for when I did Let's Play, and it's all messed up. So, welcome back to Skyrim Addict Podcast, episode 120.
Yay.
Right now, it's Victor and I.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. And Pat's sitting there on mute, so maybe he'll be hopping.
Yeah. He'll wake up eventually.
Yeah. We're not sure what's going on, but he can unmute and hop in whenever he wishes.
We might hear about it on the news later. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, let's hope not, but anything's possible.
Yeah.
So in this episode, we're going to go over a little bit of the final Roundtable feedbacks.
Nice.
We have, I believe we have two. We have the one from Ray. Of course, he has his Cyrodiil character, and we have Hearn the Hunter, a final one there. So we'll get into those. We finished the Roundtable. God, what was it? A month ago now?
Easily, yeah, at least a month ago.
Yeah, April was a busy month for everybody, so we kind of pushed back the Roundtable feedback. And then today got busy for everybody.
Yeah, we lost a couple.
It's that time of year where just everything is always going on, it feels like.
Yeah, totally.
Like wintertime, nobody wants to go outside. Once that spring rolls around, gets a lot tougher to schedule things.
Yeah, I've been so into Fallout 4 lately. I've been having a hard time getting myself off the couch, but I've been forcing myself out to do some hikes. So I'm going to get back into the rhythm of that too. So
yeah. We were on vacation last week. We did Yosemite and all that. And
nice.
So I was away from Skyrim for a good 10 days. Well, get away from all gaming for a good 10 days, really.
That must have felt good, actually. In
some
nice.
Ways. Yeah, nice reset, refresh,
Yeah, it's funny because I just about your Sequoia. I saw a couple pictures, and I was out there with my son Colin, who at the time was just about exactly the same age as Connor, and I took exactly the same pictures in the crook of the tree.
Yep.
The Sherman tree. Of course, he's we're related to Sherman, so that was cool too. And it was a lot of fun. It's a great place.
It's so amazing. Well, now when you look back at the pictures, we were showing them to somebody last night when we were out, and you look at he's sitting on like the tree, and it's just this massive thing of roots, and you're like, Mike, just doesn't even look real when you're there. It's real.
Yeah.
When you get home and then you look at the pictures, you're like, oh my God, that's ridiculous.
It is insane, isn't it? Yeah, they're so huge. Yeah.
It's crazy how big they are. It's like it was like real life Skyrim for him out there. So
that's cool. Yeah.
Climbing, yeah. There was actually one trail that had like stone steps going up to get started. So I was like, it's like the 7,000 steps.
That's great. I love it. But no trolls.
Well, yeah, hopefully not. No frost trolls. No wolf. Well, I'm sure there's wolves, but wolves are Yellowstone. So Yosemite would just be like bears and stuff. Yeah,
there's some bears there, but I don't think there might be some wolves out in the wilderness. It's not that far from their range.
Yeah, they're kind of in that area. Yeah, no, it was really nice. So interesting to see Yosemite in the rain one day. I'll tell you that.
Isn't it gorgeous? I just when Colin and I were out there, he was actively in the youth climbing leagues at the time, rock climbing, and he was like placed. I don't think he was like 6th in the country for a while there, and so I made sure to take him into Yosemite, where you come through that tunnel, and one of the first things you see is El Cap, and he was like, he was just awestruck. It was great. It was yeah. So it's an amazing place.
Yeah, the first day we didn't see much because it was rainy, but you get to see this time of year the waterfalls are going pretty well anyway. But they had so much rain and snow this year; they were flowing like crazy.
I'll bet.
And then it was raining hard that day anyway, the first day. So we got to see all kinds of extra like things that were flowing that don't normally flow and all that. But
nice.
You literally could not see. There was when I was driving up at night, the night before, you couldn't see like 10 feet in front of your face because of the fog.
Wow. True storms, just like true storms.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like when you head up to like Kynes Grove.
Yeah. Except that the waterfalls aren't frozen in place in the distance like they are in vanilla Skyrim. Yeah,
they're actually moving.
Just to bring it back around. That's what. Yeah.
The load distance much better.
Yeah, the great LODs over there in Yellowstone. I mean in Yosemite. Yeah.
It's funny, and you can see how I assume they took most of their inspiration from like northern Scotland and places like that for Skyrim, with the cragginess of it. And
yeah, it seems to be, especially in the Whiterun area, the tundra areas, is very much like the heather and heath or whatever you call it, of that terrain up there. Yeah. Not that I've ever been there, but I've seen pictures, and I read Sherlock Holmes, so
exactly.
I know all about it.
Another place I'd like to go is up there, but
yeah, definitely.
Skyrim trip next time. There we go. Skyrim.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have. Let's see. I guess we get the first email here. I'll get into that. Actually, I'll go over a couple of the ones that have nothing to do with it yet, just in case. So Timothy emailed in. He's a huge Elder Scrolls fan, playing since Morrowind on the original Xbox. Enjoyed Oblivion and Skyrim SE with mods. He's loving that. So he's still early on in the podcast, so he may not actually hear this. He's starting from the beginning to now, so maybe he'll hear this in like a few months. But
hi into the future, yay!
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how getting back into the game can make you feel, and that it just really helped him during the time when he was going through job stuff and all that. So he's doing a Khajiit playthrough, and has hundreds of hours in the game and still finding stuff that he never found before. And that's true. Well, even if you found it before, sometimes you forget, and it's still
yeah, absolutely.
So, and then Dylan emailed in. He was interested in a next season of the Roundtable, which I don't think we've nailed down in any way whatsoever.
No, I don't think we have, and we'll have to think of something new. To do, maybe mod related or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's our best way to approach it, is that because we've done a lot of the other things, so maybe take up. What in the heck? Something's playing. What did I hit?
That sounds like the theme music.
What is it? Oh my gosh! Sorry about that. That was my recording. I'll just have to take the audio from.
Oh no!
I must have hit my mouse when I must have hit my mouse when I was doing something. So.
Oh yeah, well, it's not that hard to strip the audio.
Yeah, no.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, let me just make sure. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Hey, Mikhail's in the chat. How you doing? Oh, yeah, he wants everybody to do vacation in Nordhagen Beach.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll get right on that.
Oh man, Andrew's favorite vacation spot. Yeah, I leaned and I tapped the mouse, and it must have been right over the play button on Audacity, and it switched it off recording to play. So there you go. I couldn't have done that if I was trying to do it, but
yeah, really.
Accidentally, of course, I could do it at any moment. Oh man. So okay, I got actually I think we just have Ray's email here. So we'll have the audio from that. Here we go. This is the final adventure of Cyrodiil, as you've heard on the other episodes, of course. Ray stuck in the whole season, which is awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that is great.
Hello, Skyrim Roundtable. Ray here with the final quests for Cyrodiil Stormwarren. Cyrodiil, seeing he had no option, leaves Lydia at Dragon's Reach and rides the dragon to the portal for Sovngarde. Things happened quickly, and he didn't really have time to do too much preparation. So once reaching the Skulldufin Temple, Cyrodiil uses his ebony blade and works his way through the various Draugr and dragons standing between him and the portal to Sovngarde. Continues making his way up the hill. More Draugr, another dragon, more Draugr. Slowly but surely, he's getting closer and closer to Skuldhaven Temple. The Draugr here have to be drawn out one by one to keep them from overwhelming him. Working slowly up the stairs, the ebony blade steals enough health from each one to keep the fight going. Getting to the puzzle, and it's eagle for loot and snake to continue on. Through the spider's nest, which is a breeze after all those Draugr Scourge. Another puzzle, not all that difficult. A Draugr Scourge Lord gives up the diamond dragon claw that opens the door to the Stormcall word wall. Alduin has amassed quite an army to protect him. Now we face 4 Death Lords and a Dragon Priest. This is going to take some time. Slowly but surely, picking them off one by one with his bow. He's able to loot their bodies and climb up on the pedestal and leap through to Sovngarde. Walking through the mist, he encounters various Stormcloak and Imperial soldiers trapped in the mist, including Legate Rika. Clear Sky Shout seems to put aside some of the mist, and he made his way up to the Hall of Valor. Occasional glimpses of Alduin through the mist let him know that he was on the right path. He approached the bridge and was met by Sun, thinking he could get by on his desire to kill Alduin and the fact that he was Dragonborn. Well, not so lucky. On his first try, he tried to go toe-to-toe, and that did not work well. Taking Sun a little more seriously, he was able to pass the test. A quick chat with Iskamor leads him to the 3 Nords that had sent Alduin forward in time, eager for a rematch. The 4 of them head outside to the edge of the mist to engage Alduin. With the Clear Sky Shout, they eventually broke the mist, and the battle ensues. With Dragonrend and the Ebony Blade, Cyrodiil went to work. It took a few tries, but eventually the 4 made headway and prevailed. As Alduin disintegrated, Cyrodiil felt a wave of relief. Talking to Sun, he's given the option to leave or stay a little longer. Thinking he might have missed an opportunity to gain some wisdom from the residents of Sovngarde, he crosses the bridge and found the door was locked. Trying to go around to see if there was another way in, he falls off the wall and plummets to his death. And I hadn't saved after defeating Alduin. So,
Oh no!
Luckily, Cyrodiil gets to fight Alduin again. This time he wastes no time and has Sun send him back to the Tamriel right away. He returns at the throat of the world and is surrounded by dragons. Well, this could be ugly. Fortunately, they don't appear to be hostile. He takes a chance and walks over and talks to Paarthurnax and realizes the dragons are no threat. Paarthurnax laments the loss of his dragon brother and flies off. Odahviing lands and tells Cyrodiil to call him if he ever needs him. All the dragons fly off, and Cyrodiil is left in peace to look back on all he's accomplished and what he'll do next. So Cyrodiil Stormorn is a high elf. I role-played him as half elf, half Nord. He's a level 35. He's 89 in two-handed, 66 in enchantment, and 50 in alchemy, his 3 assigned skills. His magicka, due to some kind of a buff that I couldn't figure out how to take off, is at 240. His health is at 190, and his stamina is 260. He had a 2 magicka, 1 health, and 3 stamina per allocation. He completed the Civil War on the Stormcloak side as assigned. He did have Sven as a follower, who tragically died fighting an ice wraith as Cyrodiil trekked on to fight other battles. He he traveled with Gletta the goat for a while over to Solstein and got Severn Manor, but then returned Gletta to her rightful owner. He never did get the Shadow Stone. He never did marry Torvar, and he didn't get a chance to join the Dark Brotherhood or adopt the orphan Lucia. So, all in all, Serdolf has had a good run, and I would imagine at some point I will continue on with him and see what else I can get done with him. He's definitely a strong character. So that is the World Eater Irie, Sovngarde, and Dragon Slayer. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later.
Excellent.
Awesome. That's great,
Also-
Ray. Thank you.
I also battled Alduin twice. Oh,
yeah.
Pat, right there.
Hey,
Pat.
hey guys, sorry about that. I was having some kind of bizarre hardware issue. I was watching the Hangout, but nothing was happening, and I thought, then I realized, wait a minute, you guys aren't sitting there for half an hour doing nothing. So
Yeah, well, Windows has a funny way of shutting off your microphone when you least expect it.
well, this was actually my Mac laptop, which has its own separate funny ways, So
Yeah.
So it sounded like Ray was wrapping up his adventures with Cyrodiil. So what was he saying about he had a magic, a debuff? Is that what he said at the end, or
No, a buff.
Magic buff, so it's too high. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what that might have been, but I don't know. That's
I'm not sure.
kind of odd.
Yeah. I guess you get, the amulets, and I'm sure he tried the amulets and armor pieces and stuff, but
Yeah, that you would know about.
yeah.
I don't remember what he said for what he had for standing stones. Maybe he had something there, percentage increase or something. I forget which ones are which.
Yeah, that could have been. Well, he said he never got to the Shadow Stone.
It's Shadow Stone, but he must have had some standing stone.
Yeah. Maybe the one he was using was causing it.
Yeah, I didn't get to a few things either. With sometimes those roles, because Torvar is a companions, and I don't think you can get him as a follower until late in the companions quest, if I remember. And I had Dawnguard follower. I just never got to that either. So that's what the Roundtable's all about, though.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's tough to knock out. If you're going to go up to like a level 30-ish kind of character, it's tough to get everything because it's such a broad, sweeping game.
Yeah, totally.
And Ray, if you continue on with Cyrodiil, let us know how he's doing, what's going on.
Yeah, send updates for sure.
Yeah. And if anybody else, not just for the Roundtable, but there's the character generator that Marcus set up on the website, asapodcasting.com. Click on the Skyrim Addict page, or there's also one for Fallout if you click on the Fallout feed page. And you can roll yourself a character to use for pretty much anything you want, really, just to change up playing the game.
Yeah, it's a great way to get out of your rut if you're in one.
Yeah. You want to try something new, and
Marcus even for the Fallout one, he even set up like a randomized the Fudge Muppet build. So like if you just want something Fudge Muppety for inspiration or whatever, it's a lot of ways to grab inspiration from here.
Yeah, there's some great tools there for sure.
Yeah. So Ray was talking about playing role playing his character as a half elf. Is there any lore about half breed humanoids in the
Well, yeah,
Elder Scrolls at all?
Yeah, the Bretons are half breed.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were. It goes way back to the Aldmer, not the Altmer, and I forget. I think the original human, and I can't remember what they were called at the time. But anyway, I think it goes back to the Merethic era, but I'm probably wrong about that. It goes way back though. But yes, the Bretons are, and that's why they have a magic buff to begin with.
So what's the other half of half human and half what?
Elf, half elf.
Cool. Did not realize that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the Aldmer. The Aldmer are the sort of the proto elves. Like the Chimer or Chimer, however you want to pronounce it, are the precursors to the Dunmer kind of thing.
Yeah.
The Aldmer are the precursors to the Altmer.
So is that stuff in any of the games, or is it just backstory that you pick up from books and things?
The actual circumstances happening, no, I don't think so, unless it goes way back into Arena or Daggerfall or something like that. But I think that is canon lore, as it were. That's just from the very beginning, at least with the Bretons, anyway.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and the Chimer / Dunmer, that's all. That all goes back to Lorcan and the heart of Lorcan and all of that. That, have you read up on any of that lore? I mean, that goes back to the legends about Lorcan and Trinimac and there's a whole mess of stuff that sort of sets up the modern Tamrielic world. It's pretty cool. It's actually well written.
Yeah, I've read a little bit of it, and I'm actually way behind on it. I've got the Skyrim Book Club podcast, but I'm way behind on that. But I guess that's scattered across all the games, not just Skyrim. I guess it's in Morrowind and all the
Yeah, and I would highly recommend also the Elder Lore series, which is really good. He did it like 2 seasons. It's a great series of podcasts and really, really in-depth explanations of lore. That you really have to listen to 2 or 3 times to absorb everything.
Oh, cool! I'll just check that. I did go back over last summer and catch up on all the Keegs quests. So I've got kind of the other end of the lore.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely air quotes lore, but that was a lot of fun. It's too bad he's not active with that podcast anymore. That was a really good take on the humorous end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I have it sitting there just in case it updates one day.
Yeah, me too. Because I was really embarrassed of myself because it was not literally until after I'd finished the series that I realized the joke about his name. So. Yeah. Spoiler alert! I didn't.
It's such a that's been going on, like, stretched out over such a long time. It must be to keep that story going is pretty fun.
Because I think as he was going through that, I think several times he took like multi-month breaks, and all of a sudden, I'm sure if you were listening live at the time, it was a real treat for one of those to pop up after months and months.
Yeah, it would pop up like after 4 or 5 months. I think it's been almost a year now since the last one. I think it was like last summer, possibly. What's the last one?
That's I think that's when I was listening to it, like roughly over the summer.
That must have been when the last new one popped up. I think something like that. It was probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
The website is like way out of date. There's not much on it, so I was just looking at it to see if he'd updated anything, but no.
Yeah, it just comes randomly from time to time.
Yeah.
So,
Pat, have you been just fallouting, or have you?
Mostly fallouting. Although I did, Victor, after getting my new PC set up, and I think you and I were exchanging on Messenger like some of the Gopher tips. So I went back and read, watched his whole like original Skyrim series about different the textures and the meshes and everything. And that was actually really helpful because even though the specific mods don't necessarily apply to Special Edition, all the introduction to loot and Nexus Mod Manager and how meshes work and all that stuff was really helpful.
Yeah, it's some of it's out of date, but it's all good advice no matter what. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I went back and I actually started up a bunch of just like basic mods for Special Edition. and I kicked off a game and then kind of drifted back over to Fallout because we got the Roundtable going over there, and I had to get caught up on that character. And also I was trying some of those other mods you posted on the Facebook book and Fallout. But yeah, I'm looking forward to once I kind of get through this little stretch of obsessing over Fallout. I definitely want to get back in and start messing around with the modded Skyrim a little bit, because I was having a good time playing with some of that stuff. And yeah, I didn't get a chance to configure. I guess Victor, you and I were emailing, or maybe on the Facebook page, I forget which, about the UI. So it sounds like what you're telling me is that Sky UI is still pretty functional. It just doesn't have some of the advanced functionality that you pick up in the original Skyrim.
Well, what you have for SE, it's the version 2.6, which was the last version that didn't require SKSE. So you don't have the search functions, and more importantly, for a lot of people, you don't have the mod configuration menu. It doesn't matter, because mods that use the mod configuration menu require SKSE too. So since that doesn't exist yet for Skyrim SE, then it's a moot point. So or it's academic, actually. But yeah, and it works perfectly well. It looks a little clunky compared to the relatively streamlined, version 5.1, but it may be the only Sky UI we ever get, even once SKSE comes out. So that's, It is what it is. There are a few other UI replacers. I've never tried them. I should look into that for one of the mod talks. It's still better than the clunky console-based original UI. So
yeah, I did I loaded up. Was it Def UI for Fallout? Is that the right?
For Fallout, yeah. There's Def UI, and there's also there's one other one I can't remember. But anyway, yeah.
Yes, I've been using that in my Fallout games. So I definitely want. I didn't load it in Skyrim, but I want to try it because it's really nice.
I don't know if I've never tried it in Skyrim. I found it. It's for Fallout. I thought it was just too much of a good thing. It's just too many things that are configurable and movable and placeable and everything else. I tried it way back when back in like early 2016 when it came out, and I think that was right after F4 SE came out, and I don't know. I just thought there was too much to think about, so I went for iHUD instead. Get rid of it instead.
Yeah, I forget whether I definitely didn't do anything. I think I actually just loaded the default and then Valdecil's item sorting. And I think I just kind of left it at that, and I didn't do any of the really super advanced stuff.
Yeah, that's actually good. There's the Valdecil stuff is great, and he's a Skyrim modder too. So there's stuff for Skyrim from him or her. I don't know which.
But I was Michael. The thing I was trying to start up in Skyrim was I was trying to play around with something that wasn't arching, just to get away from that a little bit. But I don't know if there's anything like in Fallout, like if you want to do a melee build and not use guns, you can use grenades as kind of a backup, right? When you absolutely have to do something at range. But I don't know if there's any. I guess in Skyrim there's spells. I guess would be the alternative.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of your equivalent, to a grenade or something like that. Yeah.
And of course, the followers or whatever. So that was what I was going to play around with that to see if I could get by without doing archery, and between spells and a follower, maybe just to kind of do something different.
Yeah, I think spells would definitely lend itself well to that, especially like if you want to try something different, like illusion, where you wouldn't even have to battle them. They can keep them at bay.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I didn't do illusion much with my Roundtable character at all. So actually, that would be a good call, just to play around with illusion a little bit. I've only got the character up to like level 2 or something. I'm just basically leaving Riverwood, so it's got a long way to go before it gets functional. So I may go down the illusion route.
Illusion at level 2 is tough.
Yeah. Well, definitely. The reason I was going away from archery is I was thinking about playing role playing like a D&D style cleric, which I don't know if you guys ever played D&D, but the thing there is they have to. It's like based on sort of like Christian knights who couldn't shed blood, so they could bash things with a mace. So they couldn't use a sword or a dagger. They could use a mace or a warhammer or flail or whatever. So that's what I was thinking about doing. Just doing mostly mace and heavy armor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you use illusion, you could use like calm or fury to, have them do the damage themselves to each other. Or
yeah. So can you with the perks, can you eventually get your illusion up to where it will affect fairly high levels? Because I know like without the perks, you can't affect very high level stuff. Yeah.
Pretty much the only thing can you affect? I'm trying to think. Are dragons pretty much the only thing you can't affect? I'm pretty sure if you get high enough, you can do mammoths and giants, right?
I haven't done much with illusion, I'm afraid. So I don't know.
I know you have to take a perk to do undead and automatons and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can affect almost everything except for dragon. Obviously, you would have to have enough skill and perks and all that. But I'm pretty sure you can affect everything.
I'm looking at Ordinator right now, but I'd have to.
Yeah, obviously dragons you wouldn't be able to, but everything else you should be able to. I'm pretty sure I have, even in vanilla. I believe I have, where I've run it up to like 100 illusion.
Yeah. I was going to go probably vanilla with perks and spells this time, just to get myself a little more familiar with some of the other.
Mm-hmm.
Just I wasn't going to try Ordinator or Apocalypse or anything this time through, just to kind of get familiar with the basics a little bit more.
Yeah, I've done it in the vanilla game. I've run illusion pretty high, and run a character that pretty much just used only illusion most of the time. So it was it can be pretty strong, pretty powerful as you get higher level. Like most of the magic, we get to that point, that tipping point.
Yeah.
Incredibly powerful. Yeah.
You just got to stay alive when you get there.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and with illusion, it's even harder because you're not doing any damage. So, but you'll have invisibility, obviously muffle, things like that.
Yeah.
I've never thought of illusion as something you can use as your only school of magic. It really needs to go with other things to be a versatile.
Yeah, it is tough to use just that. I will say that. I mean, you can, but it's definitely way harder. It's definitely not something simple. You have to plan out what you're going to do if you go that route, especially lower levels again.
Yeah.
But it is really nice in like larger battles where you can just like throw a fury spell or frenzy or whatever, whichever level you're at in there, and watch them all take each other out.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, and then you can head down and finish the one or two that are left or whatever. It certainly is good for that. But we were going to break this into 2 episodes. So let me end this episode, and we'll be right back in a momentarily or in a week, depending. So that was the wrap up of the roundtable feedback from Ray. Of course, Ray, please send some more if you like with Cyrodiil. And of course, anybody can send any story at any time. Feel free, or any questions or whatever else. Next episode, we may be getting into some Mod Talk plans, possibly.
Yeah.
And some other random Skyrim stuff. So I guess that's it for this episode. Check out all the other shows at asapodcasting.com. And goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the Roundtable open and close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.